Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are our top stories tonight.
At that point, there was not much pressure coming from either the investigating officers with regard to the agency of the case. We know that there was a murder, it was treated as a murder like any other murder.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that there was initially no urgency on the murder case of a Q-Tech employee, Armand Swart.
There was nothing untoward or suspicious in his conduct. He had always cooperated with the SAPS and RDEC.
Businessman Vusimuzi Matlala's legal team is studying the judgment by the High Court in Johannesburg after it dismissed his appeal to be released on bail. And Deputy Minister of Police Kessel Matale will be the sixth witness to testify at the ad hoc committee tasked with investigating the same wide-ranging allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system. It has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to this Monday edition of Prime News on 3. My name is Paulette Nell. Pleasure to be in your company this evening. Let's kick started with this. The Madlanga Commission has heard that there was initially no urgency on the murder case of Q-Tech employee Armand Swart. This as the bullet that was removed from his autopsy only went for analysis 3 months after his April 2024 murder. This forms a part of the evidence of a forensic ballistic expert who appeared before the Commission, probing allegations of criminality, political interference and the corruption in the criminal justice system.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that the bullet removed from the body of the late Q-Tech employee Armand Swart was only handed in for lab analysis 3 months after his 17th of April 2024 murder. Brigadier Mishak Mkabela, the national head of SABC's ballistics section, however, has stated that there is an explanation behind this.
What seems to have happened here, along the way, immediately when the member completed the case on the 24th of May 2024. At that point, there was not much pressure coming from either the investigating officers with regard to the agency of the case. We know that there was a murder, it was treated as a murder like any other murder.
The Commission has heard from detectives working on the Armand Swart murder case that implicates alleged cartel member Katiso Molefe that there was an alleged tampering of the ballistics report that allegedly deliberately omitted information in a bid to sabotage the investigation. An allegation that was scrutinized further before the probe through the ballistics report, which makes positive ties.
If you're looking to sabotage the prosecution or the investigation, it's strange to tie the suspects to cartridge cases found on the scene of the murder and a cartridge case found in their possession at the time, because that would definitely link them to the murder scene.
Meanwhile, ballistics was able to link firearms used in the murder of Armand Swart to a number of other murders, including the murder of DJ Sambari, DJ Vintos, and the attempted murder of Tebogo Tobejane, the former partner of Vusimuzi Cat Matlala. The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
In more related news, businessman Vusimuzi Matlala's legal team is studying the judgment by the High Court in Johannesburg after it dismissed his appeal to be released on bail. Matlala approached the High Court last week, arguing that the Alexandra Magistrates Court erred in its decision to deny him bail. He stands accused of orchestrating a failed assassination attempt on his former partner, Tebogo Tobejane, in October 2023.
Attempted murder accused Vusimuzi Matlala believes that he is being treated unfairly. During his appeal, he told the High Court in Johannesburg that he is the only accused out of 5 who remains behind bars in this matter. However, the High Court agreed with the Alexandra Magistrates Court that Matlala is a flight risk.
We are of the view that the court made the right decision in denying Mr. Matlala bail, considering the severity of the charges and the risk to public safety, as well as law enforcement officers, including the investigating officer and the prosecutors involved in this matter.
While the High Court agreed that the lower court erred by deciding the matter as a Schedule 6 offence instead of 5, it concurred with the conclusion that bail should be denied. Previously, Madlanga argued that the state's case is based on suspicion. He insisted that he is a candidate for bail as he has cooperated with investigations.
Our case is that he did satisfy the onus in terms of Schedule 5. That onus being that the interest of justice do permit his release on bail. There was nothing untoward or suspicious in his conduct. He had always cooperated with the SABC and RDEC.
Madlanga's legal team says it will be consulting with him to take instructions on the way forward. For now, Madlanga remains behind bars with his next court appearance scheduled for next month. Neria Shakotsa, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Meanwhile, a Deputy Minister of Police, Castle Matale, will be the sixth witness to testify at the ad hoc committee tasked to investigate the same wide-ranging allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption, and political interference in the justice system. Matale became the Deputy Minister of Police in May 2019, and he worked with both Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and former Police Minister Bheki Cele. Cele contradicted many of the statements advanced by his successor on the decision to disband the PKTT. Mchunu told the committee that one of the reasons for his decision to disband the PKTT was that before he took office, a decision to disband it had been made, and that since 2022 the unit had been operating while unfunded. However, Cele told MPs that a decision was made in 2023 by the interministerial committee that he had it that the PKTT will continue its work. Matale is also expected to shed light on the functioning of the PKTT and its disbandment. Welcome back to this now. Deputy Minister of Communication and Digital Technologies, who also serves as an ANC-NEC member, Mondli Gugumbele, says that ANC members must embrace the Madlanga Commission and seek to learn from what comes out of it. Gugumbele delivered the keynote address at a ceremony to commemorate struggle stalwarts Owar Tambo and his wife Adelaide at the Tambo Memorial Site in Wattville, Ekurhuleni.
Family, friends, the international community, those from his political home and the city of Ekurhuleni honored the life and times of the ANC's longest-serving president, Oliver Tambo. A call was made for ANC members to appreciate the work of the Madlanga Commission and the revelations that are coming out of it.
That's why Madlanga Commission is there. It's because ANC wanted it to be there through the nature of the constitution is adopted. So we should not, therefore, be angry at the manifestation of the constitution that we adopted.
Gauteng Premier took a swipe at the DA on their proposal to scrap the BEE policy and introduce an economic inclusion bill. Although the DA is a GNU partner on a national level, the party in the Gauteng legislature is on the opposite bench.
They've now taken a decision. They think we are scared of them. They are publicizing a bill that they think it will end black economic empowerment because they feel the only economy belongs to them alone. If it has to come to us, it must be stopped.
The DA in Gauteng has since indicated that it will lobby other parties in the legislature to table a motion of no confidence against Lessufi.
The EFF does not stand in any way of being a demagogue as opposed to what the DA would have always said. We do not play to the gallery of the politics of the day. We look at principle and what it stands for, and we take a position in terms of that.
Natasha Phiri, SABC News, Ekurhuleni.
The family of a prominent anti-crime activist who was murdered in Umhlaba in northern KwaZulu-Natal 2 years ago has expressed frustration over delays in the case. Judah Mthethwa, known for fighting cross-border crime syndicates in the Manguzi area, was gunned down in February 2023. The family says the murder trial has dragged on for 2 years and they are unhappy over the police's handling in the case.
Judah Mthethwa was a household name in this part of the province, known for his work in combating cross-border crime. For decades, communities living along the Mozambique and Eswatini borders have been under siege, terrorized by cross-border crime syndicates. Mthethwa, who was the chairperson of the Umhlabiyalingane Society Against Crime, was at the forefront of the fight against the syndicates. In February 2023, he was gunned down outside his home. 6 months after his death, 3 wanted suspects were arrested for his murder by members of a task team deployed to northern KwaZulu-Natal to clamp down on cross-border syndicates. The suspects, according to police, were linked to more than 87 cases of murder, car hijackings and theft in the region. One of Mthethwa's relatives, who did not want to be identified, says his death left a huge void.
We are very afraid. We are not safe at all. As this case has not yet been finalized, we don't know if other people who may be involved are still running free. We don't know what is going on. We are very sad, and this is why we are pleading for help.
Those who worked closely with Mthethwa in the crime-fighting structures have also raised concerns about how the case has been handled. KwaZulu-Natal police say they've done their work and that the court processes are the ones delaying the matter. A defense attorney withdrew from the case due to safety concerns. Ayanda Mhlongo, SABC News, eMangozi.
To this now, the city of Johannesburg has again denied claims that 4 billion rand has gone missing from Johannesburg Water's account. City officials say the money emanates from the sweeping balance of Johannesburg Water as captured in their draft annual financial statements as of the 30th of June this year. This emerged during a media briefing to give an update on the Metro's water supply situation. Johannesburg residents have been experiencing ongoing water shortages for months. Recent reports, which claimed that 4 billion rand had gone missing from Joburg Water's account, sparked outrage amid the city's water woes. But officials say no money has been lost.
The bulk flow meters, we've got 159 of 204 that have now been repaired. And we are continuing where we are expecting all 204 of these bulk flow meters to be repaired by the end of December. The EMs touched on the informal settlements that we're disconnecting. There is challenges in terms of getting support from public order policing. We are actually getting the necessary intervention through the PJWG as well to try and assist us in terms of managing this environment. I think what's important to note is the balance, is that while we are disconnecting the illegal connections on the informal settlements, it's not to indicate that these settlements are not being provided or serviced with water.
Thank you for staying with us. Cameroon's President Paul Biya, the world's oldest serving ruler, secured an 8th term in office today. Biya, aged 92, won 53.66% of the vote against 35.19% for his former ally, Issa Chiroma Baki. A new 7-year term could keep the veteran leader in power until he is nearly 100. Opposition protesters have clashed with security forces repeatedly over the past week after partial results suggested that Biya was on course to win the October 12th vote. There was no immediate comment on the result from the government, which has rejected protests in Cameroon after 92-year-old Biya's election victory opposition accusations of irregularities. To this now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has been conferred an honorary doctorate in international relations by University of Malaya in Kuala Lumpur. The honor recognizes South Africa's global role in advancing South-South diplomacy and justice-driven foreign policy. In his lecture titled South-South Diplomacy in the 21st Century, Malaysia and South Africa, the president reflected on the historic, economic and moral ties that continue to shape relations between the two nations.
A proud moment in Kuala Lumpur. President Cyril Ramaphosa honored by Malaysia's oldest and most prestigious university, University Malaya. The recognition celebrates South Africa's long-standing commitment to international cooperation, justice and equality. Delivering a public lecture after receiving the doctorate, President Ramaphosa reflected on the centuries-old ties between Malaysia and South Africa, ties forged through struggle, culture and shared humanity.
The bonds that bind our two nations together are not only bonds of friendship, they are bonds of kinship, of ancestry, of history. They are bonds that go back several hundred years. Today we pay tribute to the rulers and the peoples of the Malay-Indonesian archipelago, whose exiles, workers and scholars helped to build the South African nation.
The president traced the deep roots of the Cape Malay community to the Malay-Indonesian archipelago, noting how those early connections shaped South Africa's values of tolerance and human dignity. South Africa's relationship with Malaysia continues to thrive on principles of solidarity and shared destiny. I'm Batlali Pile, SABC News.
That wraps up our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. We now leave you with the latest weather forecast. But before that, please note that our broadcast tomorrow will be at 4:30. This as we make way for that encounter between Banyana and the DRC. Until next time, good night. Pula.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Let's take a look at those conditions over the country. We're still expecting this band of showers and thunderstorms showers as we move towards the east over Gauteng, Limpopo, and also Mpumalanga, stretching all the way towards KwaZulu-Natal. We're expecting some scattered showers and thunderstorms showers for tonight. For tomorrow, we see those rain conditions now moving towards the central parts of the country with that 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms showers predicted for tomorrow, and also scattered showers and thunderstorms showers over that interior of Limpopo with possibilities of localized flooding over those areas. Still clear as we move toward the southern parts, especially over the Western Cape for tonight. Now, looking at some warnings for tonight, we're still expecting a level 2 warning of some severe thunderstorm as we move into Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal, becoming a level 4 as we move into the interior of Limpopo. Level 4 meaning that we do expect some significant impacts over those areas for tonight. So let's be careful over those areas. For tomorrow, we have severe thunderstorm over the central parts of the country, and also a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm still expected over Limpopo for tomorrow, which means that it will be raining for tonight, stretching towards tomorrow, meaning that localized flooding in places over Limpopo as possible. So please, let's be careful, especially those who will be leaving home. Make sure that you carry your umbrella and also be careful because of possibilities of some flooding of streams, fast-flowing streams, and also making it difficult on the road, slippery roads, visibility, and also some roads being flooded. Moving towards that interior of the Northern Cape as we move towards places such as Springbok, we're expecting some runaway for fair conditions for tomorrow, so please, let's be careful. Overnight temperatures, it is going to be a relatively cool night over most of the country, but should be cold as we move towards Calvinia. For tomorrow, it is quite warm over most of the country, but hot as we move towards Appleton. We're expecting a high of 32. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.